the Jubilee Year that was opened by opening the doors of hope in the Diocese of Nairobi and worldwide in the various dioceses of the world in the Catholic Church is a very important landmark in our evangelization. You will realize that it follows the conclusion of the Second Vatican Council, Gaudium et Spes, where the bishops and the Pope who convoked the Second Vatican Council concluded by asking the Church to go out there and evangelize with joy and bring hope to the people.
I am Reverend Father Michael Ndisho, the administrator of Holy Family Minor Basilica. I'm also the Archdiocesan Secretary. For us as a parish, we took that as an opportunity of renewal. Renewal for our Christian and parish community. And what we did, we organized seminars on quarterly basis based on the Jubilee, the year of the Jubilee, and also on the theme of hope. That is what guided us. And therefore we had 4 seminars. The last one was held on the 1st of November, which was All Saints' Day. The other thing is that we increased the number of confessors because we realized the penitents were many. And normally we have confession from Monday to Sunday. Friday is a full penitential day. And because people are streaming in, especially on Friday, from 5 a.m. to 6 p.m., we increased the number of confessors. Then from there, what we did is that we encouraged our Christians too, not just to visit the Holy Door here at the Holy Family Basilica. Because when we talk of them being pilgrims, they need to go outside where they are. We encourage them to visit other places, other churches that are earmarked with the Holy Doors.
I am Father Peddi Castorino, SVD, means Divine Word Missionary. I am serving in this parish as the parish priest of Divopa, that is Divine Word Parish Kayole, in the Archdiocese of Nairobi. The Year of Hope, when it was officially launched, it was launched in a time when our outstation, that is St. Arnold Johnson Outstation, Komarok, was erected as a parish. So, in order to bring out that effect also very vividly, we started our procession with the cross from St. Arnold Johnson Parish. That is the new parish from Divine Word Parish, Kayole. Bishop Kamamoi was present for that moment, and we blessed the cross, and from St. Arnold Johnson we had a procession all the way coming to our Divine Word Parish. And to say it was a very big event because the people were too many. Even though it was a Christmas time and a lot of people have gone for holidays, but still the people from the deanery, from our parish and from the neighboring deaneries all came with a big number. I think that we were around 7,000 or more. So that was the big opportunity also to express ourselves as Christians and as Catholics, and this Jubilee Year of Hope to all the people around. So as we were walking with the banners, and also they were also able to see something, and especially about the Catholic Church and the population and the unity. We were many priests as well as sisters and a lot of faithful from all around the area. So it was very nice to see, and also Bishop also clearly explained what this year of hope mean, and how trusting in God and trusting in Jesus, one can truly have hope in his life. And he also said, as the year of hope explains very well, the hope does not disappoint, and the hope which is in Christ will not disappoint. Hopes in human beings or hopes in the worldly things can disappoint, but hope in God will never disappoint. So that point was very well stressed, and I'm sure people have understood also, and they have begun to trust more and more in the Lord.
My name is Father James Kenothi Anjao, the Pastoral Coordinator for the Archdiocese of Nairobi. Currently working with my assistant Pastoral Coordinator, Father Alex Nganga, and also happen to be the Father in charge at St. Charles Rwanga, Waithaka Parish. We received the documents from Rome, first of all, and the directives on the special way we are going to handle this Jubilee Year, and which we are able to execute in a very nice way, beginning from preparations to making all the crosses, identifying through the guidance of the local ordinary and the auxiliary bishop and bishops at that particular time on the particular doors to be opened, where Christians were able now to meet, to enter through the holy door and receive the plenary indulgences. And we began even before that the preparations. We even formulated some very special greetings, and to us it's very special because actually they were adapted across the country. Pilgrims of Hope, together in prayer, Pilgrims of Hope, mahujaji wa matumaini pamoja katika sara agedia muheko hamwe mahawaini, and it carried across the whole diocese. And then came the official opening of the Jubilee Year, as was directed by the document from Rome, and we did the opening for the 11 doors that cut across 7 parishes, from the Holy Family Minor Basilica to several other designated parishes across the zones and the deaneries, where Christians were able to go through the holy door and do the adoration of the cross. That was the first initial step that we did, identifying these churches. Then the doors were opened by our bishops across the 7 parishes, and it was very special for us because we also extended these to the prisons. We also extended the same to the hospital, especially Kenyatta National Hospital, to the National Youth Service, and also in a very special way even to the students at the Catholic University of Eastern Africa.
We opened the Holy Family Basilica. Of course, that's the mother of the churches in the church. The Basilica is the cathedral of the Archdiocese of Nairobi, and to a bigger extension, even the whole Kenya. Many people come there for mass in the morning. They come and they go, but as they pass through that door, it is they are getting intelligences. And believe me, there are many people who have traveled from many other places just to go to the Holy Family Basilica for that blessings. And even there was some change, even for those ones who are the dead. They want to bring them through the holy door for the intelligences of the ones who have died, so that we are still related to our dead people, the members, but then we are still praying for them to perfect themselves in Christ. Because as Christians we are not perfect, because we are still struggling, but also we are not really perfect in Christ. So they bring to the cathedral the same thing. The other parishes we opened in Limuru, I opened that one. It has been going on very strongly. People have that sense, which for me also is a wonder, and it strengthens me also, even as a shepherd. They have that sense of deep faith that they are going through the holy door. I loved one day when one young woman told me she went through the door of heaven in that was in Kiambu. She went through she didn't call it the holy door. She called it the door to heaven. She went through the door of heaven, and she's very happy, and everything is all and so forth. The joy comes in And it overwhelms even the challenges that are there. That's an example of Limuru. We have it in the prisons also. The fathers who are there working, they have been so happy, because not only that they're working in the prisons and the doors were open, but even the priests and other people religious on the Easter season, when Easter has come, they have been doing charitable work there to bring to the prisoners that goodness of God, that even if they are sinners, they are in the tribunal of mercy. Yeah, in the tribunal of mercy. So whatever the priests are doing there, which I was very impressed also, they go to give them something small, whatever they can, which they have obtained from the parishes, the charities that they receive from the parishes, matoleo, matega na kila kitu, they give them and such like things. So the doors in prisons have worked. The doors for the youth. The youth was a very, very, for anybody, emotive issue in the world. But youth are working very well. They see their future, not only in a Christian way, but also in even a mundane way. They want the world to be just, they want the world to be fair, they want the world to be a family together. So they stand above with the ideas of Christ himself, who came radically to say, I've come to heal the sick, I've come to relieve the sick and prisoners and such like things. That's the context of their mind, which should be refined and make it better. That's what we did in Upper Hill. And then in Serenial Garden, many people started going there also. Not just for that, but even to look for sandwood, because we have that send us a place where Cardinal Tunga, people go there to pray, say personal prayers, so that his influence will also help, their influence there will help also his process of canonization as such. Yeah. So it touches again many other areas. Wherever it was, it has touched people, those people in a particular way. And with the emphasis that was there, you could see people moving from one door to another door and such like things, to look for that particular intelligence that they will get there as such. Yeah. So I think it has helped. What we can say, like, it has brought us together. The Christians I met in Matara, some of them told me they had never come to Nairobi. Yeah, but when they came to Nairobi, they were there. When they ended, I don't know what was Basilica or somewhere else, and they saw things were very great. They saw the presence of God as such. You see, it opens up. It opens up. Yeah.
The Basilica is a very busy parish, but this year also, because of that aspect, is a Jubilee Year. We witness an increase of the people, the Christians who are attending masses here, whether on Sundays and even on weekdays. There is a notable increase in number. Some were also coming for confessions. Also for this parish, because we have the counseling department, people are coming seeking that kind of assistance. And again, like when we opened this to the Christians from other parishes, so they were coming also to have the chance to go through the Holy Dome. And already we had trained some of our sacristian, some of our deacons, and the clergy were there to guide them.
I'm Robert Jiro, a sacristan, also the catechist at Holy Family Minor Basilica. And I'll see when this, the Jubilee Year was inaugurated or started, for me really, in my personal life, I've really encountered, I can see the indulgences, not only for me, but also I've got some testimonies from Christians who have been flocking this place. Since that the door was open, every day we can see, every day Christians have been visiting these places. And on Saturdays, we have groups from as far as Germany, Spain, Italy, only to mention but a few. Not also forget about the scholars from various universities, the schools, the colleges, and all the rest. A lot of them have been giving a testimony of how they have experienced or how they have gotten the indulgences. Some of them, in terms of prayers, their lives have been uplifted, given that There are some requirements that you go for conversions, you do an act of mercy, and also you say some prayers for the sake of yourself and also for the nation and also for the Pope. So for me, really, it has been such a good experience, not only for me and also for the Christians. And now as we come towards the close, actually, I could see that the time could have been extended, it could have been better because it was not enough, and the Christians are keeping on coming on every day basis, be it in groups or one-on-one.
My name is Father Samuel Masinde, a Conventual Franciscan Friar working in Limuru Parish, St. Francis of Assisi, as an assistant parish priest. Today you had a group for PMC animators. So they had their Jubilee Day for entering through the Holy Door and also the commissioning of new animators. The Jubilee Year has been a good year. Beginning, there was a kind of anxiety from the people of God, coming to understand what is it all about this Jubilee Year, what is all about the Year of Hope, the Holy Door, and this that has brought in people to really come and witness what's going on during this year, and also to experience the indulgences that come with the Jubilee Year and the Holy Door. And so generally people have responded well, and also asking us what's all about this Jubilee Year. And through that explanation you have seen groups coming, going to inform other groups also, and planning for their Jubilee Day, and they have come to pray here with us. This year we have really engaged people more. Like other previous year, we only meet people on Sundays or only having their Jumuiya masses. But this year we have had more interaction with the people, more pastoral engagement with the people. We have seen people responding more, especially to the sacrament of confession and reconciliation. And so this really has touched people spiritually as compared to other previous years.
Jubilei katika maisha ya kanisa ni nyakati za kipekee sana za kutufanya upya na kutupa neema, kusherekea imani yetu na zaidi tunaupokea uongozi.
My name is Reverend Father Bernard Kabiu. I'm the Liturgy Coordinator in the Archdiocese of Nairobi, and I'm also serving as the Father in charge of St. Patrick's Parish in Thika. The pilgrimage itself, that's a journey from, say, your home to the church where there are holy doors. In itself is a liturgical activity, and it entails also a movement, a spiritual movement, whereby one moves from one state of life to another. And in this context, we are talking of conversion. So when one makes up their mind to move from their home to that particular church, where there is a holy door of hope, in itself is a moment of conversion, and it speaks volumes. And when you see someone deciding to do that pilgrimage, it means that there is a resolution, that there is a desire to change from maybe doing what is not right to doing what is right. And I would also like to draw your attention to the reason as to why the late Pope Francis called for the Jubilee Year of Hope. There are so many disappointments in the world. There are so many problems. Talk of COVID-19 a few years ago, talk of the war in in Russia, Ukraine, in the Gaza Strip, talk also of the problems that we are having as Africans and as Kenyans for that matter. Sometimes political instability, sometimes economy not doing so well, people are suffering economically. Talk of the challenges we have among the young people, you know, drug abuse and so on and so forth. So in the midst of all these problems, people need hope, and people who believe in God have to be hopeful. So we cannot afford to lose hope. So when we are reflecting about it, we end up growing spiritually and growing closer to God, because we are able to see that it is God who helps us, and He helps us to overcome those challenges and those problems. And without hope, then we cannot survive. So generally, the declaration of the Year of Hope itself is a way of making us deepen our faith and our spirituality, our relationship with God, our trust in God, and so on and so forth.
Actually, you know, we are talking about hope. But beyond hope, we wanted to inculcate in them the hope that will renew them. It was not just a formality, especially, you know, to attain indulgences, those special indulgences. There were a few things that they needed to do personal confession, to do charity, to pray for the intentions of the Holy Father, and to go through the holy door, the designated holy door. So there was something that we are communicating to them. So let this not be a formality. Let it be a moment of renewal, a moment that you can introspect yourself, your Christian call, your faith, your Catholic faith, and now move forward as a renewed person. Yes.
The Church, in its inspiration, creates that level of reverence, that level of approach to God through the sacraments, especially the sacrament of the Eucharist, as we have used it and utilized it for our lives in the time of the Year of Hope. The sacrament of the Eucharist, people have had a lot of reverence towards God. And you know, that reverence enables them to reflect about the mightiness, the wonderfulness, and the greatness of God Himself, so that we would, against whom they are standing, before whom they are standing, and you know, it helps people to feel, to see. So I saw the sacrament of the Eucharist is sacrament of hope. So we need to bring our young people also through the sacrament with a lot of reverence by renewing our liturgy. So that one has been done also, and it's going to be being done by renewing our liturgy, so that it catches that the mystery of life that we are looking for. Because the liturgy is supposed to express that we are living here, yes, but beyond us there's something else that we are approaching as such on this journey of hope. Yeah, so I would want to say that is very important, as I saw through in the sacrament of the Eucharist, confirmation, men have come back. As we say again, matrimony, men have come back to the sacrament and such like this. And even the sacrament of reconciliation itself, it came back to me to reflect as a wonderful reality when they say in that story of Saint Faustina with the reconciliation. She says reconciliation is the court, we call it the court, the tribunal between a human person and Jesus and God. The merciful tribunal is a merciful tribunal. It's not just like you are being charged and judged and everything like that, but it's a merciful tribunal. And for that, we also encourage our Christians to take advantage of these ones, the sacrament of reconciliation.
I'm Reverend Father Bernard Maura. Currently, I'm working at Christ the King, Githurai Kimbo, as the Father in charge. And I was given another responsibility to be the chaplain and to lead the Catholic Men Association in the Archdiocese of Nairobi. We have had so many activities, and this one being one of them, having witnessed going through the door of hope in Resurrection Gardens. And this is a milestone in our spirituality as Catholic Men Association, We have done many other things like participating in Archdiocesan events. We have also participated in other social activities like helping the poor. And coming next year, 2026, we endeavor even to do more.
The Jubilee Year generally had an impact, a big impact on the lives of the people. And people are really, like there is an increase in the way people are participating in the sacrament of penance and reconciliation. We normally have confessions on Monday to Friday at 12:30 to 1 p.m. And then on Saturdays we have confessions from 4 to 6 p.m. Previously we used to just station one priest there for confession, but now we have increased the number to 2 because people are coming. I think I would count it as a moment of grace when you see the number of penitents increasing. And that's if I would compare that to the numbers and the statistics we had when we were doing the synod on synodality. The observation then was that people are not taking the sacrament seriously, but now there is, I would say there is an increase, and I would not fear to relate it with the impact of the Jubilee Year of Hope. Yeah.
One important thing that we will continue for sure, and I have already told them, these competitions that we had on this particular theme will continue every year. It is ongoing, whether it is a theme of hope or theme can change. But these activities that we have will continue in the parish. That is first thing. And second thing, what I have realized, especially when we had pilgrimage on different groups like men separate, women separate, youth separate, children separate, choirs separate. So that has also brought a lot of strength to them. And we were able to talk straight on their own particular issues which are affecting as women, as men, as youth, as children, or as choirs. So that also will continue, because many times when we say we have seminars, the attendance is not too much. But now when we have today, Saturday, we have pilgrimage for men, pilgrimage for women, pilgrimage for youth or children. There is a lot of people coming together. So that is the second aspect for sure will continue in our parish, so that at least people are together and they're also grown well. So those special two aspects will continue in our parish from now on.
One of the things that I intend to continue with are those quarterly seminars. For example, the theme that is going to guide us during this year until we have our next family day will be rekindling hope in our families and parish life through small Christian communities. So we want to make our small Christian community strong again. And to do that, the basis of all this, the foundation, are our families. Actually, the family become the basic cell for any other group, for the church, for the Jumuiya, for the society, for the nation. And therefore, we intend to strengthen families. We are coming up with a number of programs. And again, when we have strengthened the family, we'll have strengthened the small Christian communities. Yeah, that's the theme that we hope is going to move us forward.
I would like to draw your attention to one of the 4 documents that the Pope proposed for us to read and reflect about. And obviously I will talk about the document on sacred liturgy, called in Latin Sacrosanctum Concilium, and it has one celebrated article, number 14, that talks about full, active and conscious participation in liturgy. Actually, the article appeals to all of us to fully, consciously and actively participate in the liturgy. And this is an area whereby we can say we witnessed a lot of impact from the Jubilee Year, whereby people were more vibrant in faith, as I said before, about the sacrament of penance and reconciliation, adoration, the veneration of the cross, the participation, general participation in the Mass, and also, as we have noted, about the sacrament of matrimony. You see that generally people are able to, when they for example receive a sacrament they had not received before, they are able to participate in the liturgy more actively, fully and consciously. And maybe this is a challenge I would like to pose to all of us, that at parish level we all need to think hard on how to promote the spirit of full, active and conscious participation in the liturgy. And there are several ways of doing that, and active participation does not necessarily mean maybe jumping or beating drums during Mass. It means how connected you are with that liturgy and how you reap maximum benefits of that liturgical celebration. For example, you are in Mass. In the Mass there is a liturgy of the Word, also the liturgy of the Eucharist. How do you benefit from both the liturgy of the Word and the liturgy of the Eucharist? And you find that there are some of our Christians who only listen to or rather benefit from the Word, but Eucharist they don't receive. I don't want to say that they don't benefit in any way, but definitely they would benefit more if they were receiving. So I think from the Jubilee Year of Hope, because its purpose is to revive our faith, we should, going forward, we should think about this at parish level. When you look at different categories of people, like children, for example, how do you engage them in the Mass? How do you ensure that they are following the Mass? Maybe by having their own Mass, or even if they are in the wider community Mass, there could be some parts reserved for them. Maybe they are sitting position somewhere they can be fully engaged. I also even encourage them to receive Eucharist. You also talk about people with the various challenges, the deaf community. We have them in so many now in our parishes. The sign language is now something you cannot ignore in our churches. So I think all these are some of the ways, and I would from my position as the liturgy coordinator, I would like to see a situation whereby everyone is involved in the liturgical celebration, not to forget talk about those people who have impediments, who cannot receive Eucharist. I think this is also something that needs to be addressed, both by the church and also, authorities, and also by the Christians themselves, those who have impediments. We need to come together, help each other to overcome these impediments, so that everyone may participate fully, actively and consciously in the liturgical celebrations. There is no room for spectators. Yes, there's no room for spectators in the liturgy. Yeah.
I think most of the testimonies we have received, although not everybody come, and it's not a requirement, but I can tell you, especially during the Mass wedding, Father, I was not feeling like doing this, but out of the talks that have been given, and also out of the charity that the Church has extended to us, I feel I needed this moment of renewal to go back to the life of sacrament. How priests have been speaking during their homilies about the need for the sacrament of confession, marriage, Eucharist, and proper reception of the Eucharist. Even in the confession, you could tell there is a kind of change, and that is a testimony by itself.
Most often we see, because of trusting in the worldly things, that we lose hope. So it was a time to revive them. And very often we have seen the people coming and they're joyful, and some people come very often. We can see the similar faces. They quite often they come, and time and again they come and they experience. And some of the experiences, they say they have asked for the favors from God, and many favors are God has granted them those favors, and especially those who had no job, at least few examples that we have, they came here and they prayed for it, and within a week or something they got the job. So at least few examples that we have. So they have enriched themselves, and we have tried our best to be available to all the pilgrims, so practically every Saturdays.
I am proud to be a Catholic, and I'm proud of my faith, and I pray that the Pope could announce another Jubilee for whatever, this maybe he could announce an extraordinary Jubilee for whatever, maybe whatever you may think about. And because when you have something you are emphasizing on, there's a way you're able to celebrate your faith, and you see people coming in their numbers, and you are really like, wow, this is my church and this is where I belong. And as a priest, it feels so nice to see people flocking a church like St. Patrick's Thika every Saturday. You go to Basilica, the same story. You go to the Resurrection Garden, you have to book a month before, so you feel like, oh, kumbe people really treasure their church. We are used to people flocking maybe political rallies, maybe even some other places like Kasarani, when there is a football match between Kenya and another country somewhere, but now you can see people flocking churches, and I think there is nothing as encouraging as that. I've also learned something to do with themes. You allow me to say that previously we had good themes, fine, but sometimes very, very, very compounded or congested, such that even comprehending it is quite a task. But now, just even listen to the greetings. Pilgrims of Hope, together in prayer, and the whole message, you have captured the theme of the year, and it becomes something very, very easy. Even you go to either you are in urban or rural places. You go to my home place, Karinga, even a small child, all of us are together, from the Archbishop to that person at that lowest point of the church hierarchy. Everyone is singing the same song, and we are celebrating something. So going forward, because I know the Archbishop will also be giving us maybe themes every year, I think we have learned on being simple in our themes, and even the caption, the slogan, it is wow, kitu too simple, no complications, and people are able to run with that very fast. So I think that's something that I have learned, and again, as I said earlier, about prayer life, that's something we need to take very seriously, about the role of the cross, the centrality of the cross in our lives as Christians, the sacrament of confession, and generally having hope. And without hope, tutaisha. Yes, we need to be very hopeful in life, because we have millions of problems, we have so many challenges. Everyone akona shida zake, kila mtu akona shida zake na challenges zake, and without having hope, we are going to lose it. So I would like to appeal to all Christians to remain hopeful in God, and as we close the year, let us never forget that hope does not disappoint. Romans chapter 5 verse 5.
You see, it's not a matter of being a pastor. I'm also a spiritual being in need of salvation, in need of renewal. So it was also a moment for me to undergo a kind of metanoia, a kind of a change in how I perceive things, and not just to appear as if I'm there to serve other people, as the servant of other people, but also I needed that renewal. As I shepherd, also it was a moment to introspect myself, my priestly calling, my spiritual life and my faith. So it also helped me, and I'm very sure in one other way, as others were clamoring for those indulgences, I was in the line also looking for them.
Whatever we do for others, also it touches us ourselves. So when you see the faith in others, And when you see the commitment in others, the way they come and attend, it also gives you inspiration. That also questions your faith. Do I have the faith just like these pilgrims? So it is not very easy. So it challenges your faith, and when you are challenged in faith, you are also strengthened. So that gives you more strength to commit yourself to the faith. So I can say very clearly that my faith has grown. And secondly, also as priests also it's possible sometimes we may trust ourselves more than God himself. It's not. Sometimes we can trust on our abilities more than God himself. So sometimes we can say whatever is happening is because of me. But through this experience also I have realized that whatever I am is because of God. If not because of God, if he is not inspiring, if he is not giving you strength, you cannot be what you are. So there is a time to reflect about myself also. So I can see that I have grown in my faith, as well as I have grown within myself to trust more and more God, and also to be open to his inspirations, and to commit myself more and more, or give myself more and more, so that his people are grown. So whatever I have, I can give to others. So there is a growth, that kind of growth I can see within myself.
We let us know that we are Christians now generally, and we share in three aspects of Jesus Christ's life. At confirmation, even at baptism, when we are being anointed with the oil of chrism, we share in the aspect of Christ's priestly life. Our spiritual life is very important. Spiritual life is very important to participate in the church, as we do at the family level when we come together and contribute towards the church. That's priestly offering, that's priestly worship. It's very important. And then during that, the baptism, even confirmation, you are reminded again that you are being baptized or confirmed in the prophetic aspect of Jesus Christ. The prophetic aspect of Jesus Christ, we should talk and defend the truth of life. We should work against injustices. That's why we have justice and peace. That's why we have the month of a Lenten season. All through we are fighting. Not just that we have the priest and the bishop to fight alone, but Christians should be very much aware and conscious that this justice and peace begins. The root causes sometimes in the families, and how our minds are corrupted. So we should do that. And the third one, I'm just talking briefly about those. The third one is the kingly aspect that we shared recently, the kingly aspect of Jesus Christ. That one is also very important for our Christians to know that in baptism, they don't share only on the priestly, not only on the prophetic, but in the kingly aspect of Jesus Christ. To be proud and to be joyful that you are a Christian in the kinglyship of Jesus Christ himself, who stands above all other kingly demand requirements of the world and secular things, but you stand above as a king who looks for love, for mercy, for those gifts of the Holy Spirit and the fruits of the Holy Spirit in the lives of the people. That aspect is very important. It's a peak of what we should be doing, but when it comes, it's not like we're emphasizing on those things, but it comes because we are living our normal Christian way of life. And that's why we say it, even as such, it's a symbol for Christians to start practicing charity. I can see Father Peter Carey is so much taken up with that. That's already in a priestly aspect of Christ, yeah. But also doing that because you want to help the poor. You help the poor. Why? Because the prophetic aspect of Jesus Christ have come to heal the sick, the poor, and such like is being fulfilled. And doing that because your position is a position of service. It's a kingly service. It's a kingly service, yeah. So it is happening, and I want to encourage our Christians to look at our evangelization, to look at the activities in those areas, and to encourage a Catholic Christian never to look down on himself. We are kings. When we live Catholic life, we are kings of the world, because we are sharing the kingship of Christ himself, who humbled himself to serve and not to be served. We are kings. We are kings here.
Brothers and sisters, at the conclusion of the Jubilee Year, we join our voices with the song of the whole Church that today offers its thanksgiving to God for the gift of His indulgence. Through the sacraments, pilgrimage, prayer, and charity, we have had an intense experience of the divine mercy. The Lord has washed away our sins and filled us with His grace. During this year, in the movement of the liturgical circle, we have entered fully into the mystery of Christ in faith, hope, and love. Now, my dear brothers and sisters, strengthened by the experience of conversion, let us go back to the daily round of our lives. Like the disciples who saw His face, we shall hold on to the joy of our meeting with the Lord and firmly maintain the profession of our hope, for He is faithful to His promises.
As welcome pilgrims seeking mercy, forgiveness, and new life. As we now close this Jubilee door, let us remember that Christ Himself remains always open to those who seek Him with sincerity. May the grace to be fulfilled be a lasting truth in our lives and communities. May the Lord keep our hearts open to His word, our lives open to His love, and our church always open to the poor, the sinners, and all sinful. In the name of the Father, and of the Son,